Okay, I'm about to go mute.
Sorry, I was checking. I was posting on Facebook for everybody to hop on. Let me look real fast. Substack. Mm, let's see there.
Why do you think that you have the right to silence me?
I always said that I don't want to be heard, I want to be felt. I don't want to make my mark, I want to make my dent.
I didn't realize at the time that I was actually one of the biggest activists and largest organizers of white nationalism and alt-right in the United States.
They are what is considered by most people sort of your button-up white supremacists, your suit-and-tie Nazis.
Arguably, what they spew, while it's hateful and deplorable, is political speech, and so therefore it's protected under the Constitution.
Cat, why are you letting the fascists down here? You've got us blocked off, but you're letting the fascists come and harass us? We want them out of here now, damn it, or we're coming over the fucking barrier!
I can't walk in fear, and we don't walk in fear, you know, and I thank God for that.
Honestly, I wanted to make sure that when I left this earth, there would be something left behind that was worth a damn.
Hey y'all, what's going on? Oh, let me take this off of here because we're letting you know what we're going to be talking about. What's up? I'm Dallamon Jenkins. And with me
Beth
this
Foster.
week, yes, Beth Foster. And like I said, if you notice, we're going to be going back and forth, or probably have all four of us or three that host this show from time to time. So I'm glad you guys are here today. We don't have guests, but we have a lot to talk about. How you doing this evening, Beth?
I'm doing okay, Daryl. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm good. I talked about this a little bit on line on Facebook. I watched the Warriors for the first time in life. And I want to apologize to everyone that heard me say that for it being this long. I mean, the movie has been out since '79, and it was only this weekend that I had actually watched it. And it was
I have not seen it.
Trust me, it's good. It's good. I like it.
I will put that on my spring break list.
It's going to be one of those things that now that I have watched it, I'm gonna watch a lot more of it. I mean, it was good. It was good, and but I saw it while I was up in Providence this week. Last week, we didn't have a good show last week, right? If I remember correctly.
We did not. You were in Providence, one of my favorite cities. I'm a little jealous.
I'm always there. I have friends up there right now. Yes, much love to folks out there dealing with now their second shooting in that town. And it's they don't always go through it, but when they go through it, they go through it. But it's like one of those big towns that everybody knows everyone. So I know people that knows the family and everything. So it's unfortunate what happened, and I don't want to get all into it because there's a lot that I could be talking about regarding that, but that's not what we're here for today. Maybe there is we'll probably talk about it at somewhere along the line, because there is a lot to talk about. But the reason why I was in as you probably guessed from me from this thing showing up, is that I was up there for a rally. I was a rally that was put to that I was invited to speak. I was the keynote speaker for this particular Valentine's Day rally, and it was a rally that was put together by the Providence Workers Defense of a anti-fascist unified front, and saw a lot of people that I knew and met some new friends, and over and over, and it was just a beautiful situation that I hope not situation but rally. Here we are talking about Valentine's Day, so it was cold, but actually it really wasn't that cold. wasn't that cold, but we had, but you know, it's winter. You don't see a lot of rallies, but this was the indoor thing. We had a good time. I got some video that I can show everybody, just a little bit of something so that people can see exactly what it was that you know, we enjoyed that day. See if it comes up properly. Hold on.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
I will not build weapons for genocide. I will not build walls for apartheid. I will not repeat the devil's lies.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Anti-fascism is not a feeling, right? And it's not an ideal. Anti-fascism is a practical, measured way of dealing with a problem.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
No matter what it is that we're fighting, we have to remember to enjoy the things that we are fighting for. We don't want to just be robots for one thing or another. You want to stop for a minute and say, I love me, I love you, and I love this. And we're going to enjoy it. And then after we have our fun, we're going to get back in that street and fight for it. Thank you, y'all.
I had a ball. I had a ball. I just want to say, for those who want to see that video, the entire thing was videotaped. And I have a link for those who want to watch it on our, when we do the repeat of this episode on YouTube. There will be links, and matter of fact, there will also be links on the Substack repeat.
That looks absolutely fantastic, Daryl. The last time I was in Providence was during Occupy Wall Street, and I spent a week there at the Providence camp, and it was just this big community, and they just welcomed everybody in and took care of everybody. And I love Providence, and that just looks like such an awesome time that you had there.
Yeah, well, it was. And yes, in my speech I brought up Occupy and how important it was for that to happen, to show that everybody, that we have this we have the strength within us. We don't have to wait till November to beg our leaders or politicians to do the right thing. You know, I mean, we can do the right thing. I mean, we see what's going on in Minneapolis. We see what's going on when it was, I mean, ever since, and I wish I just broke it down whenever I was speaking. After Occupy, everybody just really started becoming active in ways that they haven't been active before. We did Black Lives Matter after that. We had Standing Rock after that. And we basically were preparing ourselves for what we had to do when Trump became the president. I mean, we were prepared.
So many people who were with Occupy, they look back on it and they think we did not succeed, but we did. We found each other.
Yes, exactly. That was really important for a internet-based society. You know, we needed to see each other face to face. And that was really important. But the most important thing for me is that people had to recognize that they had the power within themselves to do what they need to do. And it's an important thing to I want to just point out, October is going to be the 15th anniversary of Occupy.
I'm so old.
Hey, how do you think I feel? We've been, it's already It's already 15 years. And also, if you go on the OPP YouTube page, you can find videos of when I was doing stuff with Occupy, mostly the Philly stuff, but I also went to Providence at that time, so you could see some of what they had going on. It was something else. It really was something else, that era, and I can only imagine what it would have been like if Occupy happened during if it was Trump that was in power. I mean, but I'm glad he wasn't, because it was important to do that when a so-called friendly administration was there.
It was a
Obama was
test of
president. Yeah,
democracy.
it
Yeah,
really
yeah.
was. It really, really was. And we have to be able to we're looking at now the people that were in. Oh no, go on.
I think about some of the things we did during Occupy. Nothing bad or dangerous, but just the way we tested democracy. I think those people would be killed today for the things we did
You're right.
15 years ago.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. I think that's exactly what we would have to worry about. I think the biggest thing that happened in when it comes to, I guess, that particular era, was the fact that we scared a lot of people. We scared a lot of people back then, and I think that's one of the reasons why they're fighting us so hard now. I think really, I mean, when they talk about how Obama was the most divisive, when I'm talking about the right wingers, talk about how divisive was, how Obama was the worst in regards to that. It's because a black man in the White House that was that popular scared the late daylights out of not just the right, but also some of our Democrats and our and
And in that same vein, go ahead,
go
Bear.
on. No, go on. No, go on.
I think in that same vein, that's what Occupy scared the elite so much by, is because we all came together. It was kind of like what, from the very beginning of the colonizers, keeping the people separated, the ordinary people, was vital to them staying in power. Dr. King recognized that we had to bring all the ordinary people together with the Poor People's Campaign. And Occupy, it had its challenges, it had its problems, but we had everybody together in some ways with Occupy, and they saw that, and they saw the working class and the ordinary people being able to organize without anybody in charge to say we want something different, and that was scary.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of the things to bear in mind, when at the time that Occupy was happening, the Tea Party was going on. Basically, people were calling themselves MAGA now. And if you notice, you have a lot of politicians today that brag about how much they were in the Tea Party. You don't hear any politicians talking about how they were in the Occupy encampments. That's because those who were not looking to become the next big thing in amongst the Democrats or among liberals and things like that. That's not to say that there weren't anyone who's currently in office that was a part of Occupy. They just don't talk about it, and they shouldn't. I mean, it's not what it was. Not it was not what we had created it for. It was not to try to push ourselves. I mean, because that was one of the reasons. If there's one of the things that really started to that got me set off about Bill Maher. I mean, there's a lot of things that do, but this was one of the first things. When the encampment stopped, I mean, when everybody basically got chased out of their areas and things like that, I was watching his show, and his attitude, his thing was like he has this thing at the end of his show that says new rule. Now that Occupy's encampments are done, now it's time for them to get out of the tents and start canvassing for Democrat candidates. I was so pissed off, and you hear me talking about that in a speech where I just say basically that's not a new rule, that's the old shit, and it's like I mean we'll go on, like I said, we'll go on forever when it comes to Bill Maher, but the truth of the matter is that was a sign that they didn't get it, and that is why they still don't get it when we won't vote for their anointed candidates, how we are always going to be the streets, whether you are talking about Black Lives Matter or Palestine, defending everybody in Gaza,
or abolish ICE,
or ICE. I mean, that all you see is all you see going on today is 15 years in the work making. So
yep. If they would have listened to us 15 years ago, we might not be where we are right now.
Oh, no. I disagree, because they were listening and they got scared, and both parties gave us Trump. Let's just be real about that.
You're right, Daryl.
You're right. I mean, and this is one of the things that I want to bring up when it comes to we today, I mean, or rather this week, we lost Jesse Jackson, and there's a lot that I can say about Jesse Jackson, and not a lot of, I mean, it's not all bad, but it's not all, it's not all good, because he became a part of that
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
So this is a good way to put it. I mean, I guess.
Which side are you on?
Yeah, but it's like it's perfect for that. It was just real perfect, but I didn't mean to make the music in the background. But the truth of the matter was, when you talk about Jesse Jackson's legacy, it became something that it wasn't. That he wasn't when he started. He became a little bit, not even a little bit. He became the system. He became the system that he was fighting. I mean, we are not a society. We don't fight to just stay in the underground. That's not what I'm asking people to do. But when we do want to be in the positions where we can decide how our society is going to go. But when we get into that position, stay with your principles, the ones that got you there. Jesse didn't do that. So I mean, but I'm glad that he was there to set the foundation for those who did. Because even if Jesse didn't, there were going to be people that was going to stay on point when it comes to stuff like that. And so I mean, that's the best thing I can say. That's really the best thing that I can say about him. And but we also got to make sure that we don't get all caught up in all of that, because folks are looking for or counting on us not to. Bottom line. And that's one of the reasons why we got to talk about Sophie Scholl. I mean, she was a young woman who died way too young, fighting the things that in many respects we're fighting now. And it was Saturday is going to be the 83rd anniversary of her execution. And I'm going to toss this over to Beth, because she can She could tell you more about. She could tell you better than I can. who
I
so,
love to talk about Sophie Scholl. She is one of those rare people who, you know, with so many historical figures, it's what I teach history, and I tell the kids there are no heroes, there are no saints, but there are a few. Harriet Tubman comes to mind. Sophie Scholl comes to mind. And if you're not familiar with Sophie Scholl, I want to tell you a little bit about her, but there's some really great stuff out there. Sophie Scholl, The Final Days is a film, really good film that tells her story. For if you've got young people, young anti-fascists in your life, there is a young person's book, We Will Not Be Silent, for readers ages 10 to 13. And then there's a novel called White Rose for teens and adults. So all of that, but I'll tell you a little bit about her story. I want us to go. It's February 18th, 1943. We're in Munich. And we're in the atrium of the University of Munich. It's almost empty. Classes are ending. The war is turning against Germany. Stalingrad has fallen just weeks earlier. And the myth of Nazi invincibility is breaking. This 21-year-old person, Sophie Scholl, climbs the stairs in the atrium with a suitcase full of leaflets. And she knows the risks. The Gestapo has been hunting dissidents. People disappear for far less than what she's about to do. But she and her brother Hans have made their choice. They're part of the White Rose, this small circle of students and a professor who believe in the face of fascism, silence is complicity. I think that's really important. That was their core belief. For months, they have written and secretly distributed pamphlets condemning Hitler and his regime. They're calling out the mass murder of the Jews, the destruction of freedom, the moral collapse of Germany. What they're writing, it's sharp, it's intellectual, it's unapologetic, and they demand resistance. They demand that people have a conscience. Now, Sophie, she hadn't always been a dissenter. She, as other kids in middle school are joining the Hitler Youth, she gets pushed into that too. But as she grows a little older, she sees her Jewish friends being ostracized, books banned, independent thought crushed. At home, her dad, who has been a critic of the Nazis from the get-go, is like warning her, like, this is a dictatorship. This is a bad thing. You shouldn't be part of it. So she does leave. That night in the atrium, she and Hans put stacks of leaflets outside lecture halls. There are some left over on impulse or because she believes it's the right thing to do. She walks to the top floor and pushes the remaining stack over the balcony, and the papers scatter. A janitor sees her, and within hours, she and Hans are arrested. The Gestapo interrogates them for days. She does not break. She takes responsibility. She tries to shield the others. She insists to the Gestapo that what they wrote is what the Germans think, but are too afraid to say. They have a spectacle trial. The verdict is guilty of high treason. And as Daryl said, on February 22nd, 1943, Sophie Scholl is executed by guillotine at 21 years of age. The witnesses talk about how composed she was. She refused to express regret. And I had the quote here, her quote on that last day. It's really, here it is. As they prepare to execute her, she says, "Such a fine, sunny day, and I have to go. But what does my death matter if through us thousands of people are awakened and stirred to action?" And they were. Go ahead, Daryl.
No, I'm gonna finish that. It says, "What does my death matter if by acts thousands are warned and alerted among the student body? There will certainly be a revolt."
May we all be so willing to do the right thing in the face of fascism.
And we are, and a lot of us are, and a lot of us are doing the best we can. I mean, truth be told, I mean, when we look at what's she was a canary in the minefield. I mean, minefield. Listen, everybody knows the saying, but the fact of the matter is, she was warning us about the things that we're fighting today, because this is always seems to be like a vicious cycle of, um, fascists and scum and villainy that always seems to grow and put themselves in the positions that they are to cause us harm. And we're back here again.
Yeah,
we're back here again. But I think we are lucky to recognize it a lot easier. But they're still there. So now people have to recognize that, just like Sophie, just like so many before her and after, we can fight this, and we're going to have to do things that we're not prepared to do right now. But when
I
you think
think
about, go on.
one thing about Sophie Scholl's story that really speaks to our moment is her culture was saturated with propaganda. The Nazis had propagandized everything, and she and the White Rose recognized the power of the written word. I mean, that's all they did. Like, they just told the truth and they put it out there. And how dangerous just speaking truth is, just writing truth, just distributing truth is to fascism, because it's all propaganda. If you go on social media, I mean, you can't. It's horrifying. You can't figure out what's real and what's not. Speaking truth,
Exactly.
posting truth, that's power.
It was like one of the things that I said when I was speaking in Providence, is that they have all these the right, that is, they have all these organizations that basically just do nothing but propaganda. I made the point about TPUSA, about how they have $81 million in their bank account, and all they use it for is to talk shit. That's all they use it for. And I asked everybody in Providence, what would your organizations do with $81 million? I know I would have started a school.
Yeah.
I would have helped our school. And my feeling is, if there's anything that they are afraid of more, is the fact that we do know how to build societies, and they don't. Everything that they do, basically, they talk about what we do. And if there's anything that shows us how strong we are, you have to look at it that way. That is the thing. It really is.
I think one example of that is the alternative halftime show, when you put that up against. I mean, I thought Bad Bunny was phenomenal. I thought the show was just brilliant, and then you got the Kid Rock over here, and just the intellectualism and the depth of Bad Bunny's performance and everything that it's commenting on and all the issues, and then you got Kid Rock over here. It's that authenticity of the truth and of care and of community. I don't know. It just.
And the only thing we know from that particular event, first of all, it was pre-taped. And two, the only other thing that we know is that somebody wanted to kiss his fish. Oh, and we also had Megyn Kelly losing her mind over Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
And we also had politicians who wanted the halftime show investigated, and it was just like, you guys are pathetic. But that's okay. You're so pathetic that you can't beat us. So we're good with that. We're good with that.
I don't watch football. I've not been a Bad Bunny fan, but it was just brilliant. Just, yeah.
If anybody wants to hear a nice little breakdown of that day, there's a comedian by the name of Josh Johnson who had a show where he basically just talked to everybody about both events, and it's funny, but it's such a breakdown that was just like, mwah. And that's why he's one of the more popular comedians right now, because he does deal with you know, current events, and really just gives you a sobering take on what's going on out there. And boy, did he let them have it on his in the stat that just
what was his name again, Daryl?
Josh Johnson.
Okay, I'll
Just
check
Johnson.
him out.
I love him. I love listening to him. He's actually on the Daily Show. He was a writer for them too. So, but he's out of sight. He's out of sight, and it was really nice how we broke it down. But you know, it was we're talking about Sophie Scholl, and that brings us to something that I want to put out there for everybody, and just let you know that you might want to keep your calendar open for on May 9th. May 9th is Sophie Scholl's birthday. She was 1921, so she would have been 100 something. But it's also John Brown's birthday. So we've always been wanting to have some sort of an event on their
It will
birthdays.
be her 125th birthday.
125th birthday, and in case of John Brown, who was born in 1800, that would make him 226. Sadly, they won't be with us, but what we want. Here's the deal, and I talked about this on in Providence. We are going to have some. We're going to have an event. We're going to have an event where it's just music and good vibes to basically celebrate their birthdays. And we'll give you more information in the coming up, and probably within the next week or so. But what it is we really want people to do, first of all, the event that we're gonna have is going to be in Philly on May 9th, and it's going to be a benefit for One People's Project. And we don't have the bands yet. We have a couple of bands right now, but we're not ready to announce everybody just yet. But what we want you to do is join us with this and have an event, have a band, have a show or something like that, connected to all of this. Something in your locale. Organize an event, a rally, or just have a show, a festival, something on May 9th, 2026. It's a Saturday, and we got a couple of months. And I know some folks in Providence want to try to do something, and I'm going to be talking to them basically with our plans. And if anybody wants to try to wants to coordinate with us, because we're going to have a website. We're going to have a website, and whatever it is you're doing, we're going to put it on the site. We're going to put it on the site to let people know that you got this going on. Consider it a radical no kings. Okay. Oh, by the way, the next one is sometime in March. I think it was March 28th or something like that. Well, we're May 9th, and we're going to be even more hardcore. I'm an anarchist. I don't believe in kings. I don't believe in bosses. I don't believe in gods. I don't believe in masters. So actually, I do believe in God. I got to stop that. But but so keep keep an eye out for May 9th, and keep next week we will have everything set up and ready to go. But we do know for sure that One People's Project will be doing something on that date in Philly. We got the venue, we're all set, and we're gonna rock and roll. Literally. So think you can put something together, Beth and Case KY?
I'm trying to think here in Kentucky. I'm in a very rural area. We might come up with something.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna talk more about it as in the next couple of days, probably on Sunday more than likely. But when we have our Sunday meeting, Mama loved the fact that I'm doing a Sunday meeting. like the good old days. Oh boy. So I think, where are we at? It's 7:30. This is going to be a short show because we don't have a guest. We got to get a guest. Well, next week. Oh yeah, next week. All right, everybody. We are going to have. We're going to be a little late. We're going to start the show at 8:30, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and we just want to just let you know that, because I have a thing that we're going to be putting together. Well, I'm good. I got an appointment. And I would not get here on time for this show if we kept it at this time. So we're going to have it at 8:30 and all of that. So everybody, we're going to make sure that everybody knows that we are going to have the show not at 7:00, but at 8:30 next week. And then the next week we go back to 7:00. But in any case, also I want to let you know that One People's Project will be out and about quite a bit over the spring. So we'll keep you folks posted on where we're going to be, and we'll have dates up on our on this podcast. On this podcast, we'll have we'll tell you about where we're going to be. Of course, we are going to also start making sure that we have something that lets you know where you can find us online, because we always talk about that we're on YouTube on One People's Project TV. That's our number name there. You can find us on Facebook. We're under our names. You can find us Idavox and One People's Project on what do they call it, on Threads and on Instagram. And never mind Twitter, because we don't really do that. We don't mess with that anymore, but we still have a presence there, but we don't really do anything. So, and then oh, by the way, and what we're trying to do right now, we're having a devil of a time, but we're going to try to get it fixed. We're going to be simulcasting this show on both YouTube and whatchamacallit, on Facebook, on our channels there. But right now, suspect. But it's part of the reason why, because something's supposed to be sus about Substack. But you can still find us. You can still find us here on Substack. And I'm gonna let Beth tell you exactly how what we are doing, because I hear we got 100 people.
We got 100 subscribers now, which is pretty cool. I got the email this week and it made me smile that we had that many people who were watching. But yeah, on Substack, we, as Daryl said a minute ago, we are anti-fascist and we are also anti-capitalist. So we're not going to put anything behind a paywall, because like Sophie Scholl, we know speaking the truth, writing the truth can break fascism. So we want this to be available to everybody. So it's not behind a paywall. With that said, though, Idavox, the organization that brings you Antifascism O.G, has been working to stop Nazis for 25 years, Daryl, is that right?
Yep, 25.
25 years, so a quarter of a century. And it takes money to keep an organization running. There's a lot of work to do right now, a lot of fascism defied. So if you're able to be a paid subscriber, that helps Adavox keep doing the work, One People's Project keep doing the work. So be a paid subscriber if you can. If you can't, we still want you to hear everything that we're doing out there.
And
also, I'm putting those sources, those books and movies about Sophie Scholl, I'm putting those in the chat for anybody who wants to get those.
And I'm going to put them on the repeat of all of the this broadcast on both Substack and on on YouTube. I should say there is one thing that you that is behind a paywall, and that's, if you saw at the beginning of this broadcast, that documentary, We Don't Walk in Fear. It's a documentary that Villanova students had done about me, and it's a half hour long.
It's fantastic.
Beautiful. You get to meet my mother. So,
yes.
So yeah, so that is what the only thing that's behind a wall. So check it out. It's beautiful. You love it. And I guess that's it for this week. But next week, again, we're about an hour and a half later. We're going to be an hour and a half later. And when all is said and done, we're going to be happy.
Joy is resistance.
And I like that. I'm gonna make that a bumper sticker.
I love that. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Take care, everybody. I appreciate y'all coming here tonight, and I want to thank. You know what? Honestly, I want to once again thank everybody who was a part of this event in Providence, and especially Mike Arujo for inviting me. Like I said, I really did have a good time at this event, and yeah, I had a real good time. And if I'm going to ask them to give me information, so if anybody's looking for them in Providence, we'll have that on our websites, or rather, as part of this rebroadcasting. So take care, everybody. There's another thing that you can also buy from us, and remember, we do have a store. We have a store over at One People's Project. And as soon as I find it, I'm gonna play its commercial that I made up for like 10 seconds. But right now, this is one of the things that you can find, and it is our it's the CD. It's a CD that the band Potbelly made for us. It's been out for a couple of years. Time to pick one up. Take care, everybody. Peace. Take care.
4 bands, 9 songs, 1 good cause, and I even do spoken word on the thing. So head on over to onepeoplesproject.com and get your copy of this important CD. Bottom line, we all in the fight now.